So in the 1950s, Reuben Garrett Lucius Goldberg, better known as Rube Goldberg, created popular cartoons. They feature complicated gadgets made from like ordinary household items. You can see one behind me. And they essentially, it was crazy because they would perform simple tasks indirectly but in ingenious ways. Now, of course, they became known as the Rube Goldberg machines. Goldberg, though, was more than just a cartoonist. He was a sculptor, an author, an engineer, an inventor, and I can guarantee you, he made a lot of people, including myself, think, and I'm sure he inspired many scientists and innovators. And I thought about Rube when I was reading a piece from my next guest about the grand strategy of President Trump and Scott Bessent, tasked with cleaning up the mess from the global financial crisis, which resulted in a massive windfall for bankers and asset holders. They've never done so well. I mean, and it just wasn't the $700 billion. Also, all of the action taken by the Federal Reserve. Now, the plan right now is to reverse those gains for the betterment of Main Street. And she also points out that many of the biggest beneficiaries also serve as fronts, revenue, right? They generate revenue for the deep state, pension funds, insurers, large corporations. She also argues that all of the pieces are now in place for President Trump to be a modern-day Robin Hood. But it won't be bows and arrows, folks, that saves the day. It will be tokenization. In fact, she's calling this a controlled demolition. Joining me now, former assistant to President George W. Bush, Pippa Malmgren. Pippa, you know, we just showed the largest, well, we were going to show, we're showing right now behind me, that's the largest structural and largest building demolition, right? They use explosives, they bring these things down, and people love to watch it. When you talk about something that's essentially reversing what happened from the global financial crisis in a controlled manner, it sounds impossible to blow this thing up and put it back together in that way. Talk to us about that.
Okay, so it's great to see you, Charles. Two things. First, it's about building the economy of tomorrow. So by allowing tokenization to come into mainstream finance and making tokens interchangeable with the dollar, that's why Peter Thiel and Palmer Luckey of Anduril have just announced this new investment bank. It's ordered to finance the new Apples, the new Teslas, not by issuing equity and going to an IPO, but by issuing tokens. So the first thing is we're talking about much more capital getting to a wider range of ventures going forward. And that'll really be great for the economy. But the other side is that by issuing tokens to bank depositors, it lifts them in the credit totem pole. So if anything bad happens to a bank, say one of the bad banks that frankly shouldn't exist except for the liquidity that's still in there from the financial crisis, if it goes under, now the depositors will be protected and you won't need the FDIC to bail them out. And so it's a really super clever strategy to both build the future more rapidly and begin the process of getting rid of some of the overhang of bad assets and bad banks from the past. You know,
when you mention the massive shift in wealth to asset holders, you know, one chart I always use on this show is corporate profits. It's behind me. For 100 years, it went sort of this way. Then all of a sudden it went exponential, just went straight up. In the meantime, labor's share came down crashing. Many say, well, that's anti-capitalism. That kind of talk is not pro-capitalism. I think it's the kind of the way we should talk to save capitalism. Just your thoughts on that.
100%. And much of the message that President Trump has for companies is this whole business of not paying workers, but charging everybody a fortune for products while keeping your profits overseas so they're not subject to taxation. This is just not going to work anymore, guys. Like, something's got to give. So the tariffs go a long way to fixing that, right? Because the message there is you took all the jobs to China, but you didn't pay the Chinese workers anything, but you charged Americans a fortune for the product and you didn't pay taxes. So the tariffs are one way. But another way is this message about tokens are going to be the future. And that means the rules will change. And I bet we won't see share buybacks, for example, quite so, you know, right, on such a scale as we've had it.
Right.
So there are lots of consequences to these announcements. I think people just haven't thought through on a grander scale. They're looking at each thing individually, and they think tokens are just a new asset class. They're not understanding what it does is it shifts us from what they used to call DeFi, decentralized finance, to refinancing the U.S. government and the Treasury market, because they'll all be collateralized with Treasury bills. And that means everybody's going to be buying more Treasury bills, which is exactly what's needed to bring interest rates down.
I got less than a minute to go. Just want to get your thoughts then how this impacts the rest of the world. I know the EU wants their citizens to become investors. BRICS are in the news big time right now, although I don't see them being the competition I thought they would be just a few years ago.
Bottom line, I think this is a big problem for the Europeans, and that's why the European Central Bank has been opposing the interchangeability of stablecoins. They realize a lot of money is going to leave Europe and come to the U.S. because its economy is going to be a lot more dynamic. And in Europe, they're going in a different direction of what they call CBDC, central bank digital currency, which kind of implies they'll have a lot of control over what you invest in. As opposed to the U.S., where you have more freedom.
Well, I can tell you right now, the stock market is saying the same thing that you're saying, and I hope people are paying attention, whether it's Circle or some of these other names. Something revolutionary is happening. I want everyone to go and check out your paper, because I think it's like 20 pages. It's amazing, like all your work. Pippa, thanks so much.